Hello and welcome back to Super Mario Galaxy with me, Matthew Caddies, aka Puggy. So we go back to Battlerock Galaxy to face a foe that kind of missed, namely Topmaniac and the Topman tribe. And yeah, this is where I go from the All-Stars, 3D All-Stars version to kind of the newer version on the Switch. Yeah, there are two versions now of Super Mario Galaxy. This is the, dare I even say, the newer Switch version, which also has Super Mario Galaxy 2, and Assist mode. A new mode which helps me certainly with some of the harder parts of Galaxy, you know, someone like myself, seriously. It gives you extra health. It, instead, when you fall, you don't die unless you have, like, very low health. And you automatically get the effects of the power stream as well. So yeah, on a section like this, it isn't too bad, to be honest, because, yeah, it's just me going over to where the star is. And we get introduced to the Topmen. It's something you may well have seen in my run of either, let me think now, Boy-Based Galaxy or Dreadnought Galaxy. So yeah, and indeed this will take us over to this end. By the way, these world enemies are actually the Rocky Wrenches, the enemies that you may well see in Super Mario Bros. 3, for example, that fling their wrenches at you, thus their names. And here's another gravity flipping area. This time we can use the switches to get through there, so yeah. Where the fire bars, they will torch you. There are also sections where you will see that, well, it won't end well for you, shall we say that. And then we'll go down there and get over there and indeed switch the gravity again. Now here's where it can get a bit confusing as to where you're supposed to go, because here is a dead end here with Mario here, so what we actually want to do is not do that, but one thing we can do is run along the top. Now, getting up there is going to be a bit of a chore, I'll say that now, but beyond there is some more of these and some more these as well. So that being said, well, let's head to the right then, and need to switch the gravity. Or maybe not switch the gravity, actually. Maybe I'm doing it wrong, because, to be honest, I think I am doing this wrong, because the gravity is supposed to go upwards anyway, so, indeed, yeah. Which is why I'm messing up so much, but whatever. Also, beware the lava. Can't say much, because I'm just going back to the beginning. You'll note that I probably have figured it out now, but along the top there are actually those crusher things, and yeah, there's the clue there, because taking the top route, what will happen is that there is actually a pathway out of this gravity flipping area. Indeed there is. The main obstacle here is to not stay on the platforms too long. You'll probably want to move as quickly as you can before they go back up. And yes, that is very hard to do. I do know that. Then down here, next to this Goomba, who crushes here, so I'll wait till they've gone back up and then go through. Absolutely. And then there's a spring enemy here. And that will flip gravity back to normal, I guess. And in this area, we have another spring enemy and whatever that is. Seriously, I can't think of what it is, so I'm just going to ignore it. This lift will take us up to where Topmaniac is, or close to where he is. Seriously. But not before taking down this force field again. Well, red and green wires are the way to go, I guess. And that will do that. I don't know if the Topmen actually respawn, but never mind. We are going to Michael Bay this shit, apparently. Seriously, and then we will land here, where the thing is, again. So, yeah, there is also a Lumilee here if you want to buy things from him. However, given that, what happens if you do get a power shroom, it just has the same effect as a one-up mushroom in assist mode, so I'm not going to bother. So here is Topmaniac himself. Firstly, he's surrounded by these yellow Topmen who just try and push you out of the way and everything. The key to defeating Topmaniac is basically jumping on his head and slamming him into the electric force field. So yeah, you may want to defeat his minions first because he moves rather quickly. If you touch his blades, however, they will burn Mario, resulting in the Yahoo Wagaga. Oh yes, I know well of the Yahoo Wagaga, and indeed, seemingly so does Topmaniac. Then he'll summon these red minions, which are a little stronger and have spikes on top of them, so be wary of that. Again, the easiest way is just to send them into the force field if they do pose a problem. Anyway, there we go. There's the next star there. And then we will go to, I think it's Hurry Scurry Galaxy, which a galaxy I didn't bother looking at all. I should have really done, really. Seriously. But, yeah. That being said, why am I leaving here? I'm guessing I'm going to see if the Hungry Luma is here. The Hungry Luma is not here. He does show up a bit later, though. And he will need 400 star bits anyway to eat in order to create the next galaxy, which I think I'll actually cover somewhat in the next episode. It'll kind of be a hybrid of both thing, and there's a Daredevil comic. I am going to do that off screen because it's just a rematch with Topmaniac, and the only difference is you only have 1 HP. That does not change in assist mode, thank goodness. Anyway, Shrinking Satellite. I don't know if I covered this, but if I have, I apologize. So, basically, kind of like with the mission with, let's say it, in Sea Slide Galaxy, in that what you have to do there is collect a certain number of notes. Given that this is actually earlier in the game, there are actually less notes to collect compared with I think so. It's a bit easier. As I say, there are even a couple of notes on the same platform. That's how insane this is. Still quite a bit of a rush to do so. And of course the long jump is your friend, especially in the Switch version, because you do have the addition of the Y button to do the spin attack, which does help quite a bit if you don't want to shake, like, because my hands shake and everything. So that being said, there's our next star, so I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye!